Brought to you by All Moto Tire, Northwest Montana's best source for your motorcycle tire needs. Today, we're exploring more of what I'd like to call our own backyard. Our planned adventure is to head west from Kalispell over US Highway 2, then south on Hubbard Dam Road through the mountains to Hot Springs. From there, crossing over the north end of Perma, up into cattle and ranch country to Polson, and back to the home 20, covering Highway 35 along the east side of Flathead Lake. Based on time constraints, we'd wind up making a couple of modifications that shortened the route a bit. Gonna do a Hot Springs loop. And we're gonna meet Dan and Rob and hopefully have a little fun, not get too warm today. It's supposed to be in the 80s. We shall see. And we're testing out some new recording equipment here. I just set up a DJI mic mini in my helmet, have it wirelessly connected to the Insta360 X3. Hopefully we're going to get a little better audio than we normally do. I've come to understand that apparently you don't get the noise cancellation that you do when you're connected to the receiver, the base unit. But we've got the dead cat on the little mic, and hopefully it's going to be a lot better than it has been in the past. We shall see. I don't know what that hesitation was all about. That's kind of disconcerting. Cracked the throttle and it coughed a little. I had experienced this sudden power cut a time or two. I hoped it wasn't a sign of bad things to come. At only 2,300 miles on the clock, I had already replaced the fuel pump. Was it about to give out again? Okay, we've got Dan and we've got Rob, and hopefully we're going to get a green light here without gobs and gobs of traffic. Well, no engine cut out that time. One of the great mysteries of life, I guess. I'm going to have to check that out someday. I've never been to Bitterroot Lake. Last ride we went to the little Bitterroot, but I've never been that way before. Might have to wait till next spring, however. The weather is going to start cooling off here in Montana, and I think there's a prediction of a pretty good amount of snow this year. We'll see. To start off the first gravel section of the day, we turned south off Highway 2 onto the new-to-me Hubbard Dam Road. Tapping the gravel. I think you can string that way all the way down to Hot Springs, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, I've never covered this before, so this is one of the new parts for me. As we gained elevation along Hubbard Dam Road, I kept wondering if the views would open up. The answer? Yes, they certainly would. We paused at a sizable cattle spread, and once more I found myself amazed at just how far from anywhere some people choose to live. What sayest thou, D'Artagnan?
The dust. That's what happens when you're not the leader.
You can lead.
So I'm not sure, this comes out on 28, doesn't it?
Eventually.
What's that?
Eventually.
Yeah.
We'll go, the idea
It does come out on 28?
Yeah.
Yep.
It comes out almost the same place that Browns Valley does.
That I don't know. I just know. I know a guy that hunts this road, but out of Hot Springs End.
Uh-huh.
The thing.
But Don's got us going alongside Highway 28 for a little while.
I don't
that?
like Highway 28. It's boring as hell.
He's got us going alongside the dirt, which actually I've never been to the little town of Lone Pine. But I think it's going to take us through there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We're going to go by the motocross track. Until recently, I had no idea there was a motocross track in Nayarada. Turns out there isn't much there, but we'd at least give it a ride by.
Yeah.
Which I've never seen before, so I kind of wanted to...
You going to jump off and do a couple laps?
Yeah, I might pull the panniers off, you know.
That's a good idea.
Right.
Yeah.
In my younger days, maybe. No. Saddling up, we skirted the cattle property to view the herd that had been kicking up dust. Not far down the road, the unexpected unfolded. 2 young women on horseback appeared, herding a handful of cattle back to the ranch. So as not to spook the herd, we pulled to the side and silenced the bikes. Hi, y'all.
Appreciate it.
About the last thing you need is have them spooked.
We already lost half of them.
Uh-oh.
Thank you, though.
Well, that turned out to be a real treat. Not something I see every day. Well, it's a mini cattle drive. With the herd safely by, southward we went. I love coming across the relics of bygone days, like this old log building. I wonder what it was used for. Well, that's cool. That's been there a while. And the views began opening up. As per usual, my camera really didn't do the justice to the imagery my eyes beheld. Love it. Descending from the hills, the gravel eventually connects to Montana Highway 28, but my plan was to avoid the highway as much as possible. My riding buddies didn't share my disdain for that stretch of pavement, but I think they warmed up to the path that I'd chosen. The route would veer west to stay on gravel and secondary roads into Hot Springs.
He said, I think you want to go that way, right?
That's correct.
Rift Road.
Through the years of traveling back and forth along Highway 28, I'd often wondered what secrets these hills and valleys held. Now I was finally about to see for myself. This land, it might seem bare, monotone, even stark. Still, I think I can see why people choose to work the land and live in this landscape. At one point, Dan had scooted on ahead, missing the planned turn. After a short debate and knowing the destination, Rob and I decided to follow.
You're supposed to go this way. Dan went that way. Well, he ended up 28. Probably.
That was okay. We caught up with Rob and just took an alternative path to get us back on the route. A few miles from Hot Springs, the gravel turned to pavement, a welcome change-up from the dust. Traveling through the valley, I spied a few roads in the distance. At some point, I think this place bears more exploration. Now it was time to find the center of town and our lunch stop, Fergie's Pub. After a short chat with a local who gave Fergie's food his stamp of approval, we wandered in, ordered some sandwiches and iced tea, and had some nice conversation. For pub fare in a tiny Montana town, I thought the food was pretty good. Turns out the local guy was right. Instead of passing down the bottom of Rainbow Lake, or as I'm told Dog Lake as the Native Americans call it, we skipped that extra 1.5 hours of travel time for another day to shoot west on Highway 28 to Perma. But first, it was time to put away the Insta360. Both batteries I'd brought along were deader than a doornail. It seems that I had set the camera to record at 100 frames per second. Great for shooting those slow motion clips, sure. But these cameras can chew through memory cards and batteries fast enough without adding, say, 70 more frames per second. Back out to Highway 28, we were off to hook up with Wilkes Gulch Road, a gravel road that Dan and I had discovered several rides back. No problem. GPS led me right to it. What could go wrong? The road I took and the road I should have taken. Somebody decided to build a new home on the hill, laying down a nice new twisty gravel road right to it. With the GPS zoom level I had set, the new road seemed like the old road, but it wasn't. New gravel, a panniered up big adventure bike, and not a great deal of room for a turnaround. Well, that was a little off-road excursion. And where did my buddies go? Several oopsies later, I did get back down to the correct road to find Dan and Rob waiting patiently. My initial plan would have taken us to Polson, but again, due to time constraints, we chose a shorter route that would be just as satisfying. We'd ride across the valleys and hills, through the cattle ranches, up over a low pass for a look back at a marvelous vista, and finally to Highway 93 at Big Arm. Traveling these gravel roads in late summer and early fall makes for a dusty ride, but the open spaces and lack of any appreciable traffic makes this route a gem. I don't care what you say, man. This is better than 28.
You're right.
More of my extolling the virtues of these gravel roads versus that paved two-lane. Sure, the dust coats your teeth, but to me, the eastern part of Highway 28 is just 2 lanes of boredom. In the distance, a huge building appears. At first, one might think it's some grand hotel, but in fact, it's the Namchak Buddhist retreat. Just beyond the retreat, the road climbs steadily to reveal a gorgeous view. Time for a short break and to plan the amended route.
2 3/4 miles. Turn right on Irvine Flats Road.
I hear a BMW.
You hear it?
I do.
Maybe more Buddhist stuff down there.
I'm not sure.
Just follow somebody.
Okay.
We're changing the route.
Yeah.
And say again for the camera's sake.
Okay. I'm changing the route. We're gonna go someplace where we've only been once before.
You know what this means in England, right?
Yes, I do. What are we looking at?
A deer.
Oh, there's a deer. It's coming up the hillside. Better get that in the video.
I'm trying.
Boy, some guys will do anything for 4 seconds of video stardom.
It's a deer. There's only about 8 million of them in this part of Montana.
Okay.
All right, on to Big Arm. Slight modification to the route, but it's a good ride anyway.
And with that, we were off for the final leg of gravel and more great views.
All the way up here, and then hang a left, and we go through that little, kind of below that ridge over there. If you want to go that way.
Well, we're going to Big Arm, right?
That'd be the way.
You want to go up?
Once again, I offered up the opportunity for Rob to escape some dust, but I guess he was more comfortable at the back of the pack. I have to admit, that last section of gravel was hammered into ripples that would rattle the teeth and shake the bolts loose.
Well, lots of washboards.
Yeah. Yeah, they lay that gravel down pretty thick on the hills, don't they?
Yeah, this isn't the best front tire for that.
Look, there's Chief Mountain. Chief Cliff Mountain. Hey, at this point, we might be better to escort Rob to 93 and go home that way instead of going 35.
Which we did. It was getting late and I had chef duties back at home. On to the final push. Back down to Highway 93. It was a warm afternoon ride up the west side of Flathead Lake and back to the home 20.
Great rod. Thank you. Thank you. Good ride.
Before heading home, we pulled to the side for a quick chat. We had covered some new roads and some old favorites. A great day adventure in northwest Montana. It wasn't a multi-day journey to some far-off destination, but sometimes it's good to explore one's own backyard, to see what's out there just beyond that bend or mountaintop, to take in some scenery with some good friends. It's late September, Old Man Winter will soon be calling. The temps will plummet and the snow will fly. Maybe a good time to plan for more spring rides. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and click the bell to be notified of future releases. We do appreciate it.